So most of us spend most of our time on the computer on the browser. And with Chrome being one of the most popular browsers out there, if not the most popular by a long stretch, you probably are wondering if there's any tools or things or applications that you can take advantage of to improve your productivity. So in this video, I want to share with you guys 5 extensions that I use on Chrome that have greatly boosted my productivity in a variety of ways. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so let's explore the 5 extensions that I think will help boost your productivity and just help you out while using Chrome. So the first one I have set here is the Google Calendar extension. And this is actually not offered by Google Calendar themselves, but instead a independent developer, his name is right here. And I think this extension is great because it allows me to quickly just check my the different things that I have going on, right? And it's just really nice to be able to check it at a glance as well as create an event really easily. And this is actually really nice because it syncs up with all of my different events right there, and it's actually really nice in doing so. That has been the first one, and yeah, for sure I would definitely recommend this. And here, if you guys can see on the top right, it actually shows me how much time I have until my next one, and it uses the Google Calendar colors as well, so it's really easy for me to distinguish. So moving on to the next one is actually Google Dictionary, and this is actually one made by Google itself, and I think this is really helpful if you guys are especially a student or are reading a lot of things online. So let's say you are just going on Wikipedia and you want to learn something about jet propulsion, right here, you want to learn something, and you're probably reading and you come across a word that you might not know about, right? You're like, what is impulse in this instance, right? So for me, if I actually hit Control and double click a word, it'll automatically show up this dictionary, which is really nice, right? So this is actually a really nice app, which I really enjoy. And how I actually set up the shortcut of just hitting Control and double clicking is actually by going onto the app, the thing right here, if you guys can see, and going under extension options. Maybe you guys can see display pop-up when I double click a word, and trigger key I select as Control, because I just think it's a bit easier to do it that way instead of just double clicking any word, then the pop-up shows up, right? And I think this is really nice, as well as you can do a number of other things like selecting your language as well as looking at your word history, which is really cool, right? If you want to keep a list of the different words that you've looked up for maybe practicing for later and memorizing those definitions. Let's move on to our next one, which is Grammarly for Chrome. So I'd highly recommend this, especially if you guys have used Grammarly before and enjoy the service. This is a really great extension to use alongside it. And one of the reasons why I personally think it's really great is because you can use it in Google Docs and it'll automatically detect Google Docs and work within it. So I'd highly recommend using the Grammarly for Chrome plugin or extension if you guys do end up doing anything, and it also works across pretty much anything. So it also works on, they give an example of LinkedIn right here, right? It also works on emails. It also works on really any site that has any sort of text box. So I would highly recommend that. So moving on to the next ones is we have Tably. So this is actually a tab manager, which actually allows you to see all the different tabs and manage them. So if I go ahead and click it, here you'll basically see, I got it. So as you guys can see, I have my the tabs, and I can actually easily check all the different tabs that I have open and maybe close whichever ones I don't want, right? So I don't want the new tab, so I can just close it right from here, which is really nice, and it's really easy to manage, especially if you're working with a large number of windows and tabs. I think having something like this is really nice, and also to just track how many tabs are going down, and you can also set some preferences and things like that. The last one, I think it's probably the biggest one, is actually remove YouTube videos, comments, whatever it's called, but it's basically a filter on YouTube. So I actually use this filter, right? I'll show you guys what it does in its full form, in its most minimal form, right? It basically, if I load up YouTube, if you guys will see, instead of being greeted with a lot of clickbaity titles and things that make you want to click on a video, this is just a really clean UI where it's nothing. It's like literally nothing is there. It's not distracting, right? However, I made it a bit too, stripped down. Usually what I have it as is I actually allow the top header right here, right? So I allow this, and this is mainly because it allows me to search. So I can still search things. So I can go like alt tech Windows tips, something like that. And if you guys can see, we can actually still access all of the different things and play the videos as well. So there's no error in playing the videos. It just removes things like the sidebar. Right, so if I move here, there's no suggested, which I really enjoy. There's also no sort of extra things. I recommend keeping on, you know, things like the video info, but I don't really think that there is any need for these suggestions and things like that, because I think it's just too distracting. So with that being said, I think that is it for this video. If you guys definitely like the video, feel free to leave a like and also subscribe, because over 50% of you guys are actually not subscribed. So feel free to definitely subscribe to receive more content like this and stay up to date. With that being said, peace.